Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of DSLR Filmmaking. I am Abhishek and I have Aman along with me from Nikon India technical team, and today we will be sharing a lot of information on how to shoot quality videos using your DSLRs. So Aman, hi.
Hi.
So what do you think about DSLR filmmaking?
Well, DSLR filmmaking globally is already there, and India also it's picking up really fast.
Right.
And many production houses prefer to use DSLRs over film cameras. The reason for that is because of the compactness and also the accessibility of the different lenses which are used to get different perspectives.
And DSLRs today can go with many third-party accessories, be it Steadicam, sliders, jibs, and they can give you that quality cinematic view.
Absolutely.
As compared to film cameras. A lot of people, to all our viewers who intend to shoot quality videos using your DSLRs, it's not rocket science to set your DSLR right for shooting videos. The settings are more or less similar to what you set for still photography. It's just that you need to keep in mind certain elements before you start shooting videos. So Aman, let's tell our viewers how to set your camera before you start rolling the video.
Okay.
Okay. Right now, what I have chosen from the frame rate is 1080, that is full HD output at 24 FPS.
Right.
Now, based on what FPS I'm shooting in, I'll decide my shutter speed.
Yeah.
So it is very important to take control over your camera while shooting videos. So I prefer to shoot in manual mode. You can also shoot videos in P mode, S mode and aperture priority auto mode. But I prefer to shoot in manual mode. Hence, I can set the shutter speed. Now if you're shooting at 24 FPS, your shutter speed should ideally be 1/48th of a second. That is just double of your FPS. So if you're shooting at 30 FPS, shutter speed would be 1/60th of a second. This is just to avoid any kind of rolling shutter movement in your videos. So right now I'm shooting at 24 FPS. I'll set my shutter speed to 1/48th of a second. But DSLR don't have 1/48th of a second shutter speed. So I'll go to the closer one, that is 1/50th of a second. Now coming to the depth in your videos. Another thing that you need to look into is what kind of depth of field you want in your videos. Similar to still photography, if you want shallow depth of field, you go for wide apertures like 2.8. Another parameter that you need to check in your camera before you start recording video is the picture control.
Right.
Now, you set the picture control right in order to get proper colors in your videos in terms of color grading. Now, based on that, like you have standard neutral, vivid, monochrome, portrait, landscape and flat picture control for your still photography. In D750 and D810 cameras, like we have something called flat picture control, which is a new picture control specially designed for shooting videos. Now what it does is it actually flattens the whole video in terms of subduing the colors and bringing out details from the shadow areas, so that editor get a lot of liberty in post-processing the video in terms of color grading it. So this is one important feature which is called flat. Now if your camera doesn't have flat picture control, you don't have to worry. You just have to go to neutral and set it. It's almost similar to flat. But apart from that, keep in mind, you further go inside the picture control, you'll have many parameters like sharpness, clarity. Clarity is something new that has been introduced with D750 and D810. You have brightness, saturation, hue, all these parameters are there. For shooting videos, it is very important that you keep your sharpness minimum. So that in post-processing, you can still add little bit of sharpness if required, because if you keep the sharpness level little on the higher side, your videos will have a lot of edges and it won't look good in terms of quality. Yeah. So keep your sharpness as low as possible. Second, keep your contrast as low as possible. Keeping contrast low will bring out details from the shadow areas, and again in post-processing you can further enhance the contrast, you can add further more colors to it and give a different feel to your videos. So these two things shall be kept in mind. Rest all parameters you don't have to touch, keep it the same way they are inside the DSLR by default. So you don't have to change them. So this was all about picture control. So Aman, another challenge that a lot of people face is how to focus while recording videos.
Right.
Because focusing in DSLR is little different from normal camcorders or video cameras.
Right.
But how to do that, would you like to explain to our viewers?
Definitely. For shooting still subjects, we've got 3 focusing modes, that is AFS, AFC, AFA. But when we do videos, we've got 2 focusing modes, that is AFS and AFF. Now AFF stands for full-time autofocus.
So AFS focusing mode is widely used for still subjects. Like if you are shooting a particular scene wherein the subject is not moving and your camera position is also very static, you are not moving the camera very much, you use AFS. Along with that, if you are shooting something in motion, subject coming towards you or going away from you or moving diagonally, then you use AFF so that your camera can actually track the focus onto the subject.
So the next one which we come across is the normal. So normal is when you are shooting at a focal length of about 50 millimeter,
35 mm,
millimeter.
50 mm, right.
The next one is subject tracking. So when you want to shoot a moving subject, you can lock your focus onto a subject and you can track it.
So it is very helpful while you are in a wildlife scenario, you're shooting some animal that is moving towards you or away from you or anything that is moving. You can actually put it on subject tracking and camera will automatically track the focus and will keep the focus locked onto the subject.
Right. And the last one is your face detection, where the camera allows you to detect a face.
Yeah, that's what the name suggests, that it can automatically detect the face and keep the focus locked onto the human faces. Right. So these are focus area modes that needs to be kept in mind before you start shooting videos, depending on the kind of scene you are shooting. Another thing that you need to check is the white balance. Like you do in still photography, you set your white balance right as per the prevailing lighting condition. Similarly, in videos also, you have to set the white balance right to get proper colors. Like for example, if you are shooting in sunlight, then you need to choose direct sunlight from the preset white balance. If you are shooting in cloudy weather, you need to choose cloudy white balance from the preset available in your camera. So Aman, what else?
Well, Abhishek, we've covered most of the basic tips and techniques. Now let us head to the location and showcase some videos. Hi everyone, welcome to this beautiful location in Kerala. Today here we are to shoot some amazing clips for you. Back in the studio, we talked about basic DSLR filmmaking, which was more focused towards the beginners.
Yeah, Aman, as you said, back in the studio, the techniques and tips that we shared in terms of camera settings were more concentrated towards the people who have just bought the DSLR and they just want to know how video can be recorded in certain situations. Now we will be talking about how you can shoot professional quality of films using your DSLRs. Right now we are using D810, both of us are using Nikon D810 cameras along with 24-70mm lenses. Of course we will be changing lenses as per the scene and lighting condition, but you know, for professional quality of films, it is very important to look into certain aspect of choosing the right equipment. And choosing this kind of camera system will always give you high quality of video footages to enhance your films and videography experience. Sturdy tripod is must. Of course, you can use many things while filming your footages. There are sliders, steady cams, matte boxes. But today we will be talking about more how you can use one camera, couple of lenses and a tripod to extract good quality, high quality of video footages. Here I am and Aman is somewhere else shooting at some other location, but I found something very interesting right in front of me. There's a bottle lying in the foreground and a beautiful seascape in the background. Now remember, when it comes to composition in filming, it's more or less the same thing what you do in photography. So it's nothing different. So you have to keep all the rules of composition in mind. What you implement in photography, the same rules are implemented in your films. So I'm trying to create a beautiful frame and let's see what we get. One more tip, that while shooting professional quality of films, always shoot manual. Your exposure mode should be manual. Even when you lock the focus, put your lens in manual mode so that camera doesn't shift the focus very often. And I've been very selective by focusing just onto the bottle, and let's see how it comes at various other camera settings.
Alright, I've just changed my lens from the 24-70 to the 85 1.4. The reason to do that is when I was using the 24-70, I was getting a wider frame even at 70 mm. So now with the 85, I'm able to get in much more closer to my subject and as well as be able to negate whatever there is in the background. A longer focal length helps me with that.
So Aman, did you manage to pull out some footage?
Yes, I definitely got some great clips today.
Okay, so let's get back to the studio, review all the footages, and for our viewers, while reviewing these footages, we will share a lot of tips and techniques on how we got these footages and what all camera settings you need to do. So let's hit the studio, back to studio.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we are, back to our studios, Aman. So you managed to pull out some clips?
Yes, I got some beautiful clips.
Okay, and I also shot some really amazing clips using D810 and Nikon D750. Let us review all the footages that we have collated and let's see and let's share some more tips with our viewers based on the footages we have shot.
Absolutely.
So talking about this first footage, the frame is same. Like you can see, in one frame I have got greater depth of field and in another frame I have shallow depth of field. I have kept the same principles in mind that you do for photography, that for shallow depth of field I have chosen wider aperture of 2.8 and for greater depth of field I have chosen aperture of f8, f11. So you can see these clips that can define how you can actually change the perspective by just changing the aperture even while recording videos.
So the second clip which you see is of the same subject but shot at various white balances.
Right.
So shooting at various white balances gives you different feel and look to the picture.
Exactly. So as I can see, the same scene is totally looking different in all the white balances that are used here in this video.
Absolutely.
And just to add, you can actually use cloudy for daylight to give a different creative look to your videos.
Right.
So cloudy white balance can be used even during bright sunlight to give a different look, a warm look to your videos. And similarly, you can use various other white balances to change the whole look and feel of your videos.
Right.
Now this footage has been shot in really low lighting condition using Nikon D750. Now Nikon cameras are really capable of handling these kind of lighting conditions. The video has been shot at 6400 ISO.
Wow.
And you don't see any kind of noise and grains on the video.
Absolutely.
Along with that, you can also create beautiful bokeh using prime lenses like 85mm 1.4, 50mm 1.8, 50mm 1.4. Now these prime lenses are very useful in creating cinematic bokehs in your shots, especially in low lighting conditions. So these days you don't have to really worry about whether your camera would be able to record videos in these kind of lighting conditions or not. You just have to take your camera and start recording videos. You can pull your ISO to 1600, 3200 or even 6400.
So in the year 2014, Nikon introduced 5 new cameras. The capability of these 5 new cameras was shooting full HD movies at 60p. Now shooting movies at 60p gives us the liberty of slowing them down and giving a very creative feel to the whole video.
So you can actually create good slow motion videos and give them cinematic feel.
Definitely.
So like we can see in this video footage shot in Kerala, wherein these performers are doing a kind of martial art form, and we have really slowed down the video to give a cinematic feel to the whole film.
Right.
So while we were in the field, we shot a lot of video footages.
Right.
And it's really difficult to showcase all of them here. So what we'll do is we'll leave our viewers with some stunning compilation of videos and that will give them a brief idea what Nikon DSLRs can do in terms of recording videos. But I would like to inform to all our viewers that whatever tutorial series you are seeing right now, it's all been shot using Nikon DSLRs. So you have a look at this small video compilation, and we'll be back pretty soon. Until next time, this is your Nikon buddy Abhishek and Aman signing off.